The doors closed. Four men, one Bruce Lee, space measuring 6 feet by 6 feet. Nowhere to run, nowhere to escape. No room for his legendary kicks. No space for his famous footwork. Just tight quarters, close bodies, hot breath, and 2 minutes that would prove everything he believed about real combat. Century Plaza Hotel, Los Angeles, October 1970. Late evening. What happened in that elevator changed how Bruce Lee thought about fighting forever. This isn't movie. This is the night Bruce Lee discovered claustrophobia is a martial artist's worst enemy, and conquered it anyway. Bruce wasn't looking for trouble that night, never was. But trouble found him anyway. Business meeting. Top floor. Century Plaza Hotel. Discussing potential film deal with producer. Meeting ran late. Nearly 11 p.m. Bruce heading to lobby. Pressed elevator button. Waited. Elevator arrived. Doors opened. Empty. Bruce stepped inside. Pressed lobby button. Doors began closing. Then they appeared. 4 men, late 20s, early 30s, rushed into elevator last second. Doors closing behind them. Bruce immediately sensed something wrong. Body language off, eyes avoiding his, positions strategic, not random. They'd planned this. Coordinated entry. Bruce recognized setup. Street instincts screaming danger. But elevator doors already closed, already descending. Too late to exit. Trapped. 6 by 6 feet space. 5 men total. Math working against him. The leader spoke first. "You're Bruce Lee." Not question. Statement. Bruce nodded. Cautious. Watching all 4 simultaneously. "We saw you at Long Beach tournament. 3 years ago, 1967. You're good at demonstrations, but demonstrations aren't real fighting." Bruce understood immediately. Challenge. They wanted to test him. Prove demonstrations were just show. Classic confrontation. Usually Bruce could talk his way out. But not here. Not now. Elevator trapped. Descending. Maybe 30 seconds until lobby. 25 floors to go. These men weren't talking. They were positioning. Spreading out. Preparing to attack. "Gentlemen, I don't want trouble. I'm just going to lobby. Let's all stay calm." But leader smiled. Wrong kind of smile. "We're staying calm. Just want to see if demonstrations work in phone booth." Bruce's mind calculated instantly. 4 opponents. Elevator 6 by 6 feet. 36 square feet total. 5 men. Roughly 7 square feet per person. Bodies touching. No kick space. No footwork possible. Arms restricted. Must use elbows, knees, head, close quarter weapons only. 2 minutes until lobby. Must neutralize all 4. Fast. Before doors open. The attack came suddenly. No warning. Just explosion. Leader lunged first. Right cross aimed at Bruce's face. Brutal. Committed. Bruce slipped right. Minimal movement. Inches only. Punch missed by centimeter. Bruce's left elbow fired upward, under leader's chin. Compact strike. Maximum power. Leader's head snapped back, hitting elevator wall. Hard. Metal denting, man stunned. First opponent neutralized. 3 seconds elapsed. But others attacking simultaneously. Man on left, grabbing Bruce's arm. Trying to control. Pin him. Bruce twisted. Hip rotation. Broke grip. Same motion brought knee up. Directly into grabber's solar plexus. Air exploding from lungs. Man doubling over, gasping. Second opponent neutralized. 6 seconds total. Third man tried tackle. Low. Charging like linebacker. Smart, actually. Bruce saw it coming. Milliseconds to react. Dropped both hands. Grabbed man's head as he dove. Guided face directly into his rising knee. Tie clinch in elevator. Perfect execution. Cartilage crushing. Blood exploding. Nose broken. Man crumpled. Unconscious. Third opponent neutralized. 10 seconds elapsed. Fourth man, smartest, baited. Watched brothers fall. Changed strategy. Went for chokehold from behind. Arms wrapping around Bruce's neck. Classic rear naked choke. Dangerous position. Bruce had maybe 8 seconds before passing out. Elevator still descending. 15 floors to go. Bruce didn't panic. Never did. Grabbed choking arm with both hands. Pulled down hard, creating space. Then explosive movement. Hip drop. Judo throw modified for tight space. Sending fourth man over his hip. Slamming into elevator wall. Physics working. Small space means shorter throw, but harder impact. Wall takes everything. Man's back hitting steel. Audible crack. Possibly rib. Man sliding down wall. Defeated. Fourth opponent neutralized. 19 seconds total. Bruce standing. Breathing hard. 4 men down. Elevator still descending. Floor 8. Almost lobby. Bruce's hands shaking. Adrenaline, not fear. Recognition. How close that was. How dangerous. 4-on-1 in confined space. One mistake. One slip. Could have been him on floor. Combat is chaos. Bruce just survived chaos. Barely. Elevator slowing. Floor 2. Bruce looked at 4 bodies. Leader against wall dazed. Grabber on knees gasping. Tackler unconscious, blood pooling. Choker holding ribs groaning. All neutralized. But all alive. Bruce could have killed any of them. Throat strikes, eye gouges, fatal techniques. But didn't. Controlled violence, even in survival situation. Control maintained. That was the difference. Between fighter and warrior. Floor 1. Bruce pressed emergency stop. Elevator jerking to halt. Between floors. Bought time. Can't have doors open. Can't have lobby see 4 injured men. Can't have police. Questions. Investigation. Publicity. Bad for everyone. Bruce looked at leader. Man conscious now. Fear in eyes. Listen carefully. Elevator reaching lobby in 30 seconds. You have choice. Leave quietly. Claim you fell. Slipped. Accident. Or we call police. Explain why you attacked me. Your choice. Leader understood. Nodded. Accident. We fell. Smart choice. Bruce released emergency stop. Elevator resumed. Seconds later. Lobby level. Ding. Doors opening. Bright lights. People waiting. 4 men struggling to stand. 1 with bloody nose. 1 holding ribs. 1 bent over. 1 with dent on forehead. And Bruce, standing calm, composed. Gentleman had accident. Lost balance when elevator moved. I'll call medical. Hotel security arrived. Ambulance called. 4 men taken to hospital. Story holding. Accident. Elevator malfunction. No charges filed. No police report. No publicity. Just another night. Except it wasn't. Except everything changed. Later that night, Bruce's home. Linda asking what happened. Noticed tension. Bruce told her everything. Linda horrified. You could have been killed. Bruce nodded. Yes, very easily. Confined space eliminates most techniques. Everything I train, everything I teach. Useless in phone booth. Tonight I learned hard lesson. Real fighting isn't demonstrations, isn't tournaments. Real fighting is worst-case scenario. Trapped, outnumbered, no room, just survival. Bruce couldn't sleep that night. Mind replaying elevator. Every second. Every technique. Every decision. In larger space, those same techniques easy. But in elevator? Different story. Everything harder. Everything riskier. One miscalculation. Game over. Next morning. Bruce went to his dojo. Alone. Early. Stood in corner. 6 by 6 feet. Marked with tape on floor. Elevator size. Studied the space. Tried techniques. Kicks? Useless. Punches? Limited. What works? Elbows, knees, headbutts, palm strikes, short weapons. This is phone booth fighting. This is real combat. Bruce spent next 6 months redesigning training. Added claustrophobia drills. Students practicing in marked tight spaces. Phone booth fighting. Close quarter combat. Everyone hated it. Uncomfortable. Restrictive. But Bruce insisted. Real fights don't happen in open spaces with rules. Real fights happen in elevators, bathrooms, hallways, confined spaces. No room for pretty techniques. Just ugly survival. Train ugly. Or die pretty. Dan Inosanto witnessed transformation. Bruce became obsessed with worst-case scenarios. Before, training focused on optimal conditions. After elevator incident, training became pessimistic. Worst space. Multiple opponents. Unfair fight. Everything designed around disadvantage. Train from weakness. Fight from strength. That was new philosophy. The elevator incident stayed secret for years. Bruce never spoke publicly. 4 men never talked. 2 embarrassed. 2 defeated. Story emerged decades later. Witnesses coming forward. Hotel records found. Medical reports discovered. 4 men admitted that night. Same injuries, same time, same story. Accident in elevator. But one witness, hotel employee, saw everything, later testified. Wasn't accident. Was fight. Bruce Lee fought 4 men in elevator. 2 minutes. All 4 down. Most impressive thing I ever saw. The mathematical reality is sobering. 4 men. Bruce outnumbered 4 to 1. Standard military doctrine says never engage when outnumbered more than 2 to 1. Too dangerous. Bruce fought 4 to 1, in worst possible terrain, with techniques half disabled, and won, decisively. 2 minutes. 4 opponents neutralized. 0 injuries to Bruce. That's not luck. That's mastery. Combat experts analyzing incident drew conclusions. Elevator fight proves several principles. First, technique beats size in close quarters. Bruce, 140 pounds. Opponents averaged 180 pounds. Size advantage negated by space restriction. Second, speed still matters. Even in tight space, Bruce's strikes landed before opponents reacted. Third, training for worst case is essential. Bruce survived because he could adapt. Physical analysis shows fascinating details. Elevator 6 by 6 feet. 36 square feet. 5 men, approximately 360 pounds total. That's 10 pounds per square foot. Incredibly dense. Need roughly 15 square feet per person for effective fighting. Elevator provided 7, less than half requirement, like trying to swim in bathtub. Bruce's strike selection reveals tactical genius. 4 opponents neutralized with 4 different techniques. Elbow strike to first, knee to second, knee to face to third, hip throw to fourth. No repeated techniques. Why? Because repetition requires space. Same technique twice means occupying same position. No room in elevator. Must constantly adapt. Every strike different. Every angle new. Improvisation at highest level. The psychological aspect is equally important. 4 men planned ambush. Coordinated assault. They believed they'd win, because demonstrations aren't real fighting. They'd convinced themselves Bruce's skill was illusion. Elevator proved them catastrophically wrong. Demonstrations might be controlled, but skills underneath? Absolutely real. Absolutely deadly. Bruce's restraint deserves emphasis. He could have killed all 4. Easily. Throat strikes, temple strikes, eye attacks. Techniques exist. Bruce knew them all, but used none. Controlled every strike. Injured, but didn't maim. Defeated, but didn't destroy. Even in life-threatening situation, control maintained. Ethics preserved. That's warrior mentality. Violence as last resort. And even then, measured violence. Never excessive. The incident influenced martial arts philosophy broadly. Before elevator fight, many instructors taught never fight in confined space. Avoid at all costs. After Bruce's experience became known, philosophy changed. Train for confined space, because you can't always avoid. Phone booth drills, bathroom scenarios, car fighting, hallway combat, all became standard. Bruce's nightmare became everyone's training. Medical perspective adds context. All 4 men hospitalized, but all released within 24 hours. Injuries painful, but not serious. Broken nose, bruised ribs, possible concussion. Nothing permanent. Bruce's precision evident even in chaos. Struck hard enough to stop. Not hard enough to kill. Calibration perfect. Even under pressure. Even in confined space. Control never lost. The hotel's response was interesting. Management reviewed security footage. Saw everything. Saw 4 men rush in last second. Saw attack begin. Saw Bruce defend. Saw result. Clear self-defense. Hotel chose not to pursue, not to report, not to publicize. Understood situation. 4 men started it. Bruce finished it. Smart decision. Avoided publicity disaster. Kept legendary moment secret for decades. Bruce later said, "Elevator fight taught me true meaning of adaptability. Jeet Kune Do isn't about optimal techniques in optimal space. It's about appropriate techniques in actual space. Whatever space you have, whatever position you're in, whatever disadvantages you face. Adapt. Survive. Win." That's real martial arts. Not tournaments, not demonstrations. Real life, real threats, real survival. The lesson extends beyond martial arts. Life itself is confined space. Limitations everywhere. Can't always choose terrain. Can't always pick circumstances. Can't always have advantages. Sometimes trapped. Sometimes outnumbered. Sometimes disadvantaged. So what? Adapt anyway. Fight anyway. Win anyway. That's what Elevator taught, not just Bruce. Anyone paying attention. Constraints don't determine outcome. Response to constraints determines outcome. Bruce had worst constraints possible. 4 opponents. Tiny space, no advantages. Won decisively. Because constraints don't beat skill, don't beat will, don't beat warrior who refuses to lose. 50 years later, story finally public. Witnesses coming forward. Records examined. Truth emerging. That night, in October 1970, Century Plaza Hotel. Elevator fight. 4 men, 2 minutes. Bruce Lee proving one final time. Demonstrations weren't fake. Speed wasn't illusion. Skill wasn't performance art. Everything real. Everything applicable. Everything deadly. Even in worst-case scenario. Even in phone booth. Even outnumbered 4-1. Bruce Lee proved it. Survived it. Taught from it. Left lesson for everyone. Train for worst case. Hope for best case. But be ready for anything. Because elevators don't care about your belt rank. Real fights don't give you space. They give you reality. Deal with it. Or lose to it. Bruce dealt with it. In 2 minutes. In 6 by 6 feet. Against 4 men. Proving everything. Forever. Doors closed. Challenge accepted. Fight won. Legacy secured. All in elevator. All in 2 minutes. Making impossible look inevitable. Making confined space look irrelevant. Making 4-1 look like warm-up. Because that's what mastery does. Makes impossible possible. Makes terrible terrain irrelevant. Makes disadvantages disappear. Through skill, through will, through warrior spirit that refuses to lose. Even in elevator. Especially in elevator. Where legend met reality. And reality lost. As always, forever.